Gaudy. So Gaudy. Gaudy stacks. Gaudy stacks. Welcome to Gaudy Stacks
with Ben Simmons.
What's on the menu, Benny boy?
Hello. How you doing? You hanging in there? I got a new little mobile microphone, so I'm walking and talking. Kind of got cabin fever. Been quarantining behind closed doors, looking around nervously, opening curtains, glancing outside. Paranoia. It's the virus. Give me that Rona. Give me that Rona. That's gonna be, I'm gonna cut a rap song. That's gonna be the chorus. What do you think? Give me that Rona. Hey. Give me that Rona. See, I'm kind of losing my mind here because of this Rona. I'm slurring my words. I haven't even been drinking. Although when you're stuck inside, you start gazing at that bottle, you start looking at that pipe, and you're like, man, I got nothing else to do. No, actually, I've been working, but getting that fever, that cabin fever. I actually went outside today for a little bit, walked around. There was a seagull. The sea is about, the ocean is about an hour and a half away, but the seagull and I had a moment. We stared at each other. He looked confused. Maybe he had that Rona, you know? Maybe he had that Rona. That's what my cuz Osbo named it. So, you know, gotta represent. Yeah, I mean, this virus has been immersing my life. I've been seeing a lot of gaudy stats, lots and lots of gaudy stats about the virus. I don't really want to get into all of that now because, you know, we need a respite from all this. I was losing my mind a little bit yesterday because I was just looking at all this news. So depressing. Just some dark shit. We don't have enough test kits. You know, old folks are in danger. My dad is abroad. He's in Costa Rica. He left like the day it was at its worst. So I'm worried about that. But you know, he's a strong dude. No, he's a geezer. He's a boomer. Old but strong, like a sturdy oak. Well, if you met him, you wouldn't think that. No, I kid. He's my dad. He's my fucking father. Anyways, yeah, so, you know, I've always wanted to do a 50, 40, 90 pod. This one will be probably a little shorter than I originally intended it to be. But that said, you know, there's not that many guys who got to the 50, 40, 90. And you're probably thinking like, Jesus Christ, that was a crazy transition. I mean, you were talking about that Rona and you went straight into 50, 40, 90. But yeah, because like, again, we need some distractions here. You know, there's gaudy stats aplenty about the COVID. I saw some crazy stat. I didn't realize this. It was comparing the military budget to the CDC's budget. So the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, is 1.5% of the military budget. So the military budget's like $750 billion or something. Just got raised, and the CDC's is like $11 billion. And also, supposedly, like, the whole pandemic team was fired, like, in 2018. I don't know. I don't want to get into politics. At least not yet. I mean, this podcast could morph into that. I'm not going to take that off the table, but I think we need a distraction. We need stats. We need round ball stats, and also leather football. What shape is a football? Could somebody answer that? Because I genuinely don't know. Hey, what shape is a football? I don't know. Worthless motherfucker. Yeah, I don't know. What is it? Is it like an oval? I guess kind of like an oval. Yeah, but we're going to talk about 50, 40, 90 today. And it's a select list, a select group of people. And I've been thinking about it because, last year we had Malcolm Brogdon, and I kind of scoffed. I scoffed at him, but he had a heck of a year. I mean, he only played 64 games, but that shouldn't take him. That's still a lot of games. And he was 51% from the field as like a point guard / shooting guard. He was 43% from three and 93% from the free throw line. That is it's exceptional. I scoffed, but now he's kind of my guy. I'm a Brog man. Oh, God, it's lame. But no, I'm a fan. Malcolm Brogdon, dude. Oh, yeah, bro. Malcolm Broggs. How many points did he score a game? 15.6. Solid, But yeah, man, we got an interesting group. We had a lot of near misses as well. Jose Calderon got really close. Percentage points separated him from glory. But how should we do this? Chronological or lamest 50, 40, 90 people? But wait, first, before we do that, I kind of like skipped over what I was going to say. So Chris Middleton was on pace before this Rona hit. Chris Middleton was on pace for 50, 40, 90. Currently, he was on pace. Then he had like a few bad shooting nights. Currently, he's at 49.9% field goals. Can you believe that? So he would not qualify. And 41.8% from three. And 90.8% from the free throw line. So he was having like a crazy great year. 21 points a game. I mean, the dude was well, the season could continue and he could get to that, but they're saying at least 30 days because of that coronavirus. So he was taking almost six 3-pointers a game, shooting 41.8%. Having a hell of a year. Chris Middleton, I went from thinking, and I was going to say we'll see in the playoffs, but we don't know. But he kind of crumbled late in the playoffs last year, but he destroyed the Celtics. He's a hell of a player. I'm definitely not hating that one bit. But yeah, so we touched on Malcolm Brogdon. So let's go backwards though and start from the beginning. Okay? Let's start from the first and let's just say the modern era, because there's a chance that fucking like Bill Russell had a 50, 40, 90. No, I'm joking. I'll cut that part out. Actually, I probably won't, because I was thinking, what was I thinking? I was thinking about triple doubles. I was thinking Bill Russell couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, he was like an incredible defender. We did the Bill Russell podcast, okay? Look it up. I was reverential in my praise. I feel like he's underrated at this point. He gets shit on because of the competition, supposedly, but the competition were like all-time Hall of Famers. So if you want to listen to that, feel free to go to one of many platforms and inject it into your ear hole. Now, let's go to the 50, 40, 90. Let's start from the beginning. Oh. Larry Legend. Bum, bum, bum. Motherfucking Larry. Yeah, man. Wow. The 1986-87 season. I've been yelling. I need to lower my voice. Like, I can already feel my voice. I'm losing my voice. It's cabin fever. I'm losing my mind and my voice. Jesus Christ. 53% from the field. 40%. Wow. .400. He barely got it. And 91% from the free throw line. Larry Legend, the first of two 50, 40, 90 seasons. The next one came the following season, folks. Can you believe, man? God. And people say, myself included, he wasn't that good of a three-point shooter because if you look down, season by season, he only had a few 40% three-point shooting seasons. But if he was like training to shoot threes, like maybe he was, I don't know. But I would like to believe if the three was emphasized like it is in the modern era, or the today's game, the last like 10, 15 years, not even 15, like the last like 5 to 8 years, if Larry Bird was around today, I got to think he'd be shooting a good percentage and he'd be shooting high volume and he'd be killing because he had a quick release. He had that shoulder cannon, like a fucking catapult. Could shoot it like it was like lightning fast, and he would put the ball over his head. Yeah, put the ball over his head, and he'd act like he was gonna pass, and then bam, like act like he was gonna do an overhead pass, and then bam. It was something to behold. I'm going by just highlights I've seen online because he was a little before my time. But I did see this amazing VHS, the Larry Bird video, which, I forgot what the fuck it's called, but it's great. The next season, he also shoots around 53%, 52.7. Actually, the previous year, he shot 52.5. Let's get the facts straight, Simmons. 41% from three. All right? Oh, God, look. These attempts are crazy. He only took 237 attempts, 98 makes. To put that in perspective, Steph Curry in 2015, we'll just skip ahead a little bit, 886 attempts and 402 makes, and he shot 45%. My God. I told you Steph Curry is the greatest three-point shooter of all time. I told you that. You said, fuck you, Simmons. And I said, I punched you right in the face. You got knocked out. You woke up like 2 hours later in the emergency room. I was standing there, and I said, no, fuck you, because he is. And then I punched you in the face again, and then we kept repeating the cycle forevermore. Jesus Christ. Cabin fever, folks. But yeah, 92% from the free throw line that year, and the year before, 91%. So Larry Legend, they call him, he has 2 entries on this list. He belongs here. Incredible seasons. Incredible. Next is a personal favorite of mine. If it wasn't for a horrific leg injury, he might have had a Hall of Fame career. He was kind of like Steve Nash before Steve Nash. An incredible shooter and a hell of a passer as well. Mark Price is who I'm talking about here. Excuse me. 1988-89 season. So we had 3. That was the season after Larry Bird. We had 3 50, 40, 90 seasons in a row. Mark Price, 52.6%. I'm just going to round up. 53% from the field, 44% from 3 on 211 attempts. Man, that's efficient. 93 makes. God, remember that year when Kyle Korver had like 50% from 3 on like a shitload of attempts? I don't even remember what year that was. Was that 2012? I don't want to look it up. It's that Rona. It's Rona time. I can't look it up right now. I'm too tired. Don't worry, I'm not getting the Rona, but fuck that shit. At least I hope not. Knock on wood. Whew, that would suck getting the Rona. Give me that Rona. Rona. Motherfucking Rona. 90% from the free throw line was Mark Price. 90.1. He barely made it. Man, what a season, though. Hell of a shooting season for him. Then we got Reggie Miller next. Okay? 93-94. And talk about... See, I'm going to get myself into trouble here. But he is another overrated shooter. He was overrated three-point shooter. He was a great shooter. But compared to what we have today, like, I don't think people understand the level of shot making that's happening in the NBA right now. I mean, not this season because Clay and Steph are both out and they're like two of the greatest shooters of all time. But even what Trae Young's doing, I mean, he's shooting like, what is Trae Young shooting? I'm going to look this up. I went from like not really loving him to being like, this is fucking impressive, even though they're losing like crazy. Okay, 36% from three. Not great. But, you know, I mean, he's shooting a high volume, right? Let me see. Check this out. He is shooting fucking motherfucker. Fuck you. 9.5 attempts. 30. So it's not horrible. 36% on 9.5 attempts. He still needs to get better. He's been sick. Not the Rona, but he had the flu. He had some bad games. And, you know, he just... A team... It'd be interesting to see how the team is next year if John Collins doesn't get suspended for 25 games again to start the year like a fucking idiot. Jesus. No, I like John Collins, actually. They should keep him at center more. They've been putting him at power forward. And I say that, but they get scored on. They're a sieve on defense, so maybe he's not the best center. He's getting more blocks, but... We'll see, man. They got Clint Capella, obviously, so they're going to have to figure that out. I don't know what they're going to do. You know, they could trade John Collins, but it sounds insane, but he's a young guy. Just doesn't have any defensive prowess so far. Anyways, getting a little bit off track. But Reggie Miller, 50.3% field goals, 42% from three, and 91% from the free throw line. It's a hell of a shooting season. I'm not going to hate. He was a great scorer. He was great. I mean, Reggie Miller was fun to watch, coming around those screens and everything. But, you know, those games are low scoring. And, the shot making, the long-distance bombing today is so much fun to watch. I don't understand people who say the game is boring or it's stupid or it's not tough. Or it's like, look at this fucking shot making. It's unreal. Yes, it's ugly when they're missing all those shots, but it's just a different kind of basketball, and I find it fascinating. Oh my God, I just saw something crazy. Steve Kerr had a 50-50 90 season, but he didn't make enough shots. In 1995-96, 50-50 90. That's fucking unreal. Steve Kerr. I actually created him in NBA Street 2. I created his character, and he was a Deadeye. It's a video game, in case you didn't know. One of the greatest basketball video game of all time. Yeah, I fucking said it. Fuck you. Huh. But let's move on here. I don't have a ton of time, unfortunately. Steve. Oh my God. Steve Nash, his first 50-40-90 season, his first of four. Can you fucking believe it? 51% from the field, 44% from the three-point line, and and 92% from the free throw line. Wow. Oh, God. The shooting. You combine top-tier, otherworldly passing with his shooting, and you get Mark Price. No, I'm kidding. You get Steve Nash. Has not been equaled in that regard. Chris Paul was a better defender. John Stockton was a better defender. Probably a better passer. Maybe. John Stockton wasn't a better shooter. Neither was Chris Paul. Not even close. Well, maybe a little close. God, why do I always get like that with Steve Nash? I mean, he's just a fucking dude. Why am I so obsessed? Don't go too deep there, Simmons. You might get a little weirded out, if you know what I mean. Anyways, God, I'm getting so weird. So we had a hell of a season. 92% from free throw, 44% from three-point land on 342 attempts. So it's pretty good. You know, the next guy, Dirk Nowitzki, it's crazy. He only had 173 three-point attempts, 72 makes for 42%. That's so low. I feel like, don't you think? I'm gonna go look him up because that was 2006, 2007, and by the way, Steve Nash's first was in 2005, 2006. So we're gonna have a little run of 50, 40, 90 seasons coming up here. Back to back to back. Let me look up Dirk Nowitzki. I'm curious about that season. It just seems like such a low amount of attempts total, you know? Yeah, I mean, he didn't take it. It took a surprising. His most he ever took in any season was earlier in his career. He took 390 twice with Nelly. God, those were fun years. He shot 38.7 and 37.9 respectively from three those 2 years. So what didn't take as many attempts as I thought. Later in his career, like in his second to last year in Dallas, 337. So that was becoming like more the norm. You know, career 38% three-point shooter, which is pretty incredible for his height. Better than Sean Bradley, I'll tell you that much. God, Sean Bradley was good in NBA Street too as well. I mean, he had no power, but he had like full blocks or something. He was pretty fucking good. All right, so 2006, 2007, 42% from three, 90%, 90.4% from the free throw line. Just incredible shooting for somebody his size. You know, one day we'll have to do a Dirk pod. Have I done a Dirk pod? My brain is not working very well. We might have already done one. I don't know. I have to look through the annals of Gaudy Stats history. The next season, 2007, 2008, Steve Nash sees what Dirk did, and he says, "You son of a bitch. We were friends. We were going to win the championship together." Then Harry Cubes, couldn't pony up the money. Thought I had a bad back. He did, very bad. So it makes sense that he didn't sign him. But you bastard, I'm going to one-up you. I'm going to do a 50-40-90 season. So 50.4% from the field, 47% from three. Folks, do you understand how rare it is for a point guard to shoot? It just doesn't happen. 47% from three. Has Steph Curry ever shot that from three? God, my voice is getting lower and lower. I'm going to turn into Terry Gross in a second. Just whispering. Just whispering in the fucking mic. Like a little bitch. I don't mean that in a sexist way. I just mean like, you know, a little. When you say a little bitch now, I don't think it means, well, maybe it does, Timothy. Oh my God. I did it. I said a horrible thing. Or did I? Let's see. I'm looking up Steph Curry's best percentage season. Well, see, he's always shot a higher volume, seemingly. Like some years he shot 11 threes a game. That was 2 years ago. He never shot 47% from three, and Steve did. So we're talking about an otherworldly three-point shooter as a point guard, as a high-volume shooter. Okay? Just incredible. Anyways, so then, he has that season. He says, I'm going to do it again. And so it's crazy that he kind of like barely got over 50% shooting each year. 50.4 that year, then 50.3 the next year, and then 44% from three. I mean, he was locked in. In the previous year, he shot 47% from three on 381 attempts. That's incredible, folks. So the next year, 44% on 246 attempts, and 93.3 from the free throw line. 93.3. That's incredible. The following year, he said, listen, I know I already won 2 MVPs, but I'm going to do a fourth 50, 40, 90 season. And that's what he did. On 291 attempts, he shot from three. He shot 42%. Okay? And 51% from the field. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, rounded up. 50.7. And 94% from the free throw line. 93.8. Just now you see why I love this. I mean, first of all, it's really rare for a point guard to shoot over 50% from the field. It doesn't happen. The efficiency, the offensive efficiency of this man is, for his position, is unrivaled. He was not a good defender. That's been established. Stockton destroys him in that department. Chris Paul destroys him. All right? But in terms of offense, the efficiency is unfucking rivaled, all right? Okay? Now, that's the end of his dominance on this list. He got 4 50, 40, 90 seasons. The next highest is Larry Bird with 2. So he is the king of this list. He is legendary. He is the best 50, 40, 90 guy. The best shooting point guard ever. Think about that. He's the best shooting point guard of all time. You're like, wait, hold on a second. Steph Curry, you son of a bitch. That's true. But in terms of like just pure shooting, Steph Curry is the best volume shooter. He's the best 3-point shooter easily. Steph Curry is, without a doubt. I know that. I'm not that stupid. Okay, but let's go through and look how many 50% field goal seasons he has. And I might have said in the past that Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time. Listen, okay, maybe I can I do a redo on that? Because now I'm looking at the stats, and Steph Curry only has one 50% shooting season. That's his 50, 40, 90 season. Steve Nash, on the other hand, has at least 4, but I think he has more than that because he has a few near misses in his 50, 40, 90s. 50, let me see here. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has 7 seasons shooting 50% from the field, guys. Listen. These are just the stats. I'm just reading you the stats. Like there's no bias here. Okay, there's a lot of bias. I admit that. But come on, man. 7 seasons of 50% shooting from the field as a point guard? As a pretty high volume shooter. I mean, he shot... Well, it wasn't that high volume, actually. The efficiency of this guy... Okay, I'll stop saying that. But, yeah, his highest field goal attempts in any season was 13.6. It's pretty low. A lot of the offense went through him, though. A lot of assists he handed out. Speaking like Yoda now, a lot of assists he handed out. That's not proper English, Simmons. It's not. It's just not. Now that's a fact, too. Okay, the next 50, 40, 90 season. So that was like... That was 1, 2, 3, 4... So Nash had 3 50, 40, 90 seasons in a row. And then before that, Dirk had one, and then Nash had one before that. So Nash had 4 out of 5 years he had 50, 40, 90. Just crazy, man. So then Kevin Durant comes along 2 years later after Steve Nash's 50, 40, 90, and he throws down his own 50, 40, 90. And now this is a case of a guy, and this is true for Dirk as well, but KD was taking a lot of shots, all right? He was taking a lot of shots, and he still put up the 50, 40, 90. So this is 2012, 2013. And Kevin Durant puts up a 51% shooting, just from the field in general, and then 41.6% from 3, and 90.5% from the free throw line. He scored 28 points on 17.7 shot attempts. So, yeah. It's pretty fucking good, man. That's it's a lot of shot attempts. I'm looking right now for Dirk's 50, 40, 90 season, how many shot attempts he had. I'm just curious about that. So that's 2006, 2007. Duty, everywhere. So he shot 17.2%. What are you talking about? 17.2 field goal attempts. Did I say percent with KD too? Cabin fever, dude. Cabin fever. It's that Rona. It's that Rona. 17.2%. So yeah, I mean, these guys are shooting a high volume and still shooting efficiently. It's even more impressive. And that's why the next guy on the list, Steph Curry, that's why his is so impressive, man. Because in 2015, 2016, he had a 50, 40, 90 season. He shot 11 threes a game that season, and he shot it that was their championship season without KD. He shot 45% from 3 on 11 attempts. He made 5.1 a game. That is ridiculous. It's filthy. It's not fair. He was shooting sometimes well beyond the three-point line, just pulling up. He also shot 90.8 from the free throw line. So it is, you could say it's the best shooting season of all time. I mean, the field goals were only 50.4 only, but the 50, I can't even talk. Sorry, I'm at a loss. 45.4%. I gotta get up and walk around for a second because I'm sweating. I really am sweating. Like I have sweat under my armpits. That's gross, but it's true. And I would never lie to you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. I would never lie to you. Give it to you straight. Steph Curry, 45.4% three-point shooting on 11 shots. 11 three. God. That means he was scoring 15 points a game just from threes. He scored his career high thus far, 30 points a game that season. Half of those were from threes, guys. Do you understand? And he took 20 shots a game. His career high. Are you following this? The efficiency mixed with the volume, mixed with the potency, mixed with the deadliness, mixed with the accuracy, mixed with that Rona. Oh my God. Okay. Gotta drink some water, dude. Oh, fuck. I need to smoke a joint or something. Getting so hot and bothered. And so that's, it's fitting that we end on that one. I mean, the next one was Malcolm Brogdon. We just fucking talked about, He's a little 15 points a game. He's a little 51%. He has 240. Oh, by the way, Steph took 886 attempts that season. Made 402 of them, 45%. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I just farted. I'm so just, my body can't even handle it right now, dude. I just farted out of sheer just surprise, being impressed, hot and bothered. And you heard it live. Oh my God. So Malcolm Brogdon, with this he shot 43% from 3 on 244 attempts, which is, quick math, a little over a quarter of the attempts that Steph shot. So, good for you, Malcolm. I mean, I like him. He's efficient. He's a good player. He's a great defender. Better defender than Steph. Better defender than Steve Nash, which isn't saying anything. And then Chris Middleton, we talked about him. 49.9% this season, in this shortened season. Possibly. I mean, they say it could start again. Maybe it'll be like the lockout season. How many games? So 55 games. Chris Middleton, 49. Maybe they'll give it to him. No, they won't, because you got to at least get to 50. If you're at 50, if you're at .500, they'll give it to you. If you're at .499, they won't. Chris, I'm sorry. That would be so tragic. I hope they play, at least 10 more regular season games. Let him get to that threshold, because he's had a great season. He's been tremendous, great shooter in general, fun to watch. I was getting so into the NBA season. I was watching every night almost. I was playing lots of DFS. Just really enjoying great fun fantasy basketball is fun, man. Especially DFS. Really enjoying myself. Some great stories. Don't want to get too deep into all that stuff. I don't have a ton of time, unfortunately. But Nikola Jokic has put up some crazy stat lines this year. His scoring average has gotten better with every month. He was starting to round into form, although the last 4 games he's sucked. Maybe it was the last 2, I don't know. But Dame Lillard, those crazy threes, kind of making up for the lack of no Steph. Just logo Lillard pulling up from deep. LeBron, just the machine goes on. Workman-like, just unreal, man. Is he ever going to get injured? I mean, that's really the only thing that can stop him now, is if he gets injured, obviously. But he doesn't seem like it's possible right now, because he's so fucking sturdy. What else? There's a lot of... Oh, Giannis, of course. And you know what? I'm going to do a Giannis pod eventually. He's putting up Wilt Chamberlain-esque numbers when you... 36... per 36 minutes. So he's only playing 29 minutes a game or something. I'm just going to look this up really fast, because the numbers he's putting up this year, this could be the end of the year. I don't know. But, so 30.9 minutes a game, which is very low for a superstar like him. Although minutes are going down in general. 29.6 points. 13.7 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block a game. That's just fucking crazy. So per 36 minutes, 34 points, 16 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.2 blocks, 54% shooting, 54.7% shooting from the field, and 30% from 3. Not very good from 3, but he's getting better. He got 5 percentage points better from last year, although he shot even better than that. He's shooting more this year too. I don't want to get into all this. But yeah, man, he's just having a crazy season. Because when Wilt had his 50 points a game season, I think he played like 48 minutes a game or something. It was fucking crazy. I mean, he was playing like every single minute of every game. It is kind of interesting to look back at some of these older players and how they played more minutes and they didn't get hurt as much. Maybe some of that was luck. I don't know. There's just like the pace of the player, like guys just trying harder on defense. Because you do see more. I feel like on just a regular NBA game now, I don't know if it's the competition within the team or what it is, but guys seem to be going all out more. Could that be contributing to the injuries? Just I don't know. Just a theory from a dude. Anyways, I gotta run. I hope this audio turned out okay. I'm kind of just pacing around. Cabin fever. That Rona. Stay safe. Quarantine yourself. Get some grub. Get some good food. Flick on Netflix. All that shit. Enjoy yourselves. I recommend Peep Show, The Simpsons on Disney Plus, Mandalorian. Do like a marathon like The Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's always fun. Harry Potter. If you're in the mood for something light. Yeah, Peep Show is incredible. I cannot recommend that highly enough. Veep. Same guys who did Veep did Peep Show. Like some of the creators, the writers are the same. In fact, the first season, I think the first few seasons of Veep were all British writers. Pretty crazy. It's such a funny show. Both shows are just so funny. I need to watch Secession. I've heard good things. Again, that's the creator of Peep Show, Secession. God, I'm like a salesman for Peep Show. What can I say? Can't help myself. Just rewatched The Office UK. It was hilarious. What else? Any other recommendations? You could go to like a 90s action movie marathon. I'd recommend Broken Arrow, The Rock, Face Off. Start with those. Terminator 2, Terminator 1 before that. Just do like a Terminator 1 and 2 back to back. Incredible. Terminator 1 actually holds up pretty fucking good. Just saying. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you, and gals. Thank you so much for listening, and stay safe. Until next time. Give me that